Welcome all earthlings and other beings. This is Zollar, Tarot and Art. And today what I'm going to be doing is reading your cards. And I'm also going to be drawing an image that I received in meditation that is the center point of this entire reading. So I'm going to go ahead and start the drawing a little bit and set that aside after we talk about it. Then I'll do your initial spread. And at the very end of the video, you can see the finished and completed drawing. But during the video itself, you can watch me mostly complete the piece. So I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing great. So what I was seeing was a lighthouse, and there are significant messages behind a lighthouse. Obviously, lighthouses can be very solitary, but they're beacons, like they're helpers to those who are in boats and things like that, who are trying to figure out where the coastline is, and through like particular light patterns and sounds and things like that. The lighthouse lets the captains and of the ships know where they are, and if there's like danger nearby, shoals or places where the ships might be wrecked or stuff like that, where the coastline is basically. So I'm suspecting that this might have something to do with you or a person that you know being like a beacon or someone that they look up to with respect or look to for an example and everything. So I'm just gonna like draw this. So one of the things about this image that I was seeing, it was a lighthouse on black rock, but there were like these really big waves around it and clouds, and so it's obviously in the middle of a tumultuous type of weather. But lighthouses are built to withstand, really bad weather and flooding and things like that. And so it might be that this is you, like maybe you've been through a lot and you're really built tough. You're built to last. And there are those around you who see this. Now, there was another underlying message that went with this, but I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And you can see me finish it mostly while we're doing the reading itself. So I'm going to put it over here for now. All right, we'll go ahead and do the initial spread. I'm going to lay this out and then we'll talk about it. So here we go. All right, so what I'm seeing here is that in your past, there were some really bad things that happened, some stuff that surprised you, something you weren't expecting, right? And it caused you to like kind of withdraw a lot. Like you had to, like you got Hermit here and the Four of Treasure and the Tower right down here. So the Four of Treasure would be like the Four of Pentacles. So it's about holding back, maybe to be more secure, maybe possessiveness. You can see how she's holding this back and everything. It might be that you found that you had to hold back from other people for a while and kind of remain secluded, and really think about things because something bad really happened. And I'm going to get some clarifiers on this to see what this is about. Can I have clarification on the Tower, please? Yeah, I mean, towers are not always bad, but in this case, the surrounding cards, I say this was definitely an unpleasant surprise, something that happened. Yeah, it could have been a heartbreak, someone who fooled you, maybe who led you on or tried to offer you something that was bogus or bad. Let's see. Yeah, there's another, look, Four of Pentacles again. This is Four of Pentacles, that's Four of Pentacles. Yeah, someone may have held back their love, or maybe you held back your love too. I mean, this tower almost looks like a lighthouse too, doesn't it? Right? So, interesting. But it looks like you've been pulling out of it, like you got clear on some things here. The Ace of Spears is, the Ace of Swords. And that's all about finally getting clear on things, getting some inspiration, like a breakthrough. So something right now is like a breakthrough for you, but you still have had to walk away from, you're still having to walk away from heartbreaking situations. There's still more that's getting cleared out. So, yeah, I think a lot of people, there's several people you're having to walk away from right now because they cause you heartbreak or something like that. And that ties into a song that I think that I've been hearing, and it's called, I'll just read the lyrics. It's called Not an Addict by Kay's Choice, and it goes, it's not a habit, it's cool, I feel alive. If you don't have it, you're on the other side. I'm not an addict, maybe that's a lie. I feel like because of the spread and because that song keeps blasting through my head with regard to this reading, that it has something to do with addictions. And addictions are not always substances, even though that particular song, if you go listen to it, it's a great song, is about substance abuse. But I feel like this also could be codependency or something like that, because that can be highly addictive. Say, for instance, you continue to choose narcissistic relationships, or something like that, it becomes an addiction. You become addicted and trauma bonded to that person who is playing off of your trauma wounds, right? So that's another form of addiction. There could be multiple addictions. I'm seeing multiple pearls here, right? So it could be that you've had to deal with multiple addictions in your life and multiple addicted people, right? Let's see. And then we've got the Queen of Coral here. So, after having been a hermit and everything, you're finally getting your passion back. Just make sure that, you're making sure that that passion doesn't turn into something toxic, but that means you've got to walk away from things that are toxic and keep your mind clear, right? So if, say, it is substance abuse, keeping your mind clear of certain types of substances so that, you can continue to see clearly what you need to do next in your life, right? Can I have some clarification on the Eight of Pearls, please? I want to see more what this walking away from, or swimming away in this case, is about. Let's see. We've got death. Someone may have died around you, or some big change might have happened because of this tower. Yeah, and having to be really strategic because you got the King of Swords here. Yeah, so you're having to like cut away, right? He's got the sword there. Cut away those things strategically, or those people strategically, out of your life. And sometimes that can be really difficult if there are toxic people very much ingrained in your life, or there have been expectations that you're supposed to somehow cater to their needs or do something for them or be codependent with them. And that's like a pattern that's been going on for a long time. The lyrics say it's not a habit. It's cool, I feel alive. But that's a lie. She's saying it's a lie. There's a better way to do things, right? So let me see what's blocking you. Put these aside for now. And I kind of want to see. Got another watery tarot deck here. Let's see. What is blocking this collective, please? Well, what I'm getting from this is that there's a real need for you or whomever this is about to really work on self-love. There's a lack of self-love, I feel, or there's not enough self-love, and to really get past addictions and get past damaging or harmful things that have happened. There's a real need for self-love. Self-love, or going inward, loving yourself more, is always a great way to move forward in life. This is definitely very important. You look at this, how painful this guy must be here, this merman here, the hanged. This is the Hanged Man. So not only is he getting a new perspective on things because he's upside down, but it's like a painful process. I can see he's just completely bound up. And substance abuse, things like that you're addicted to trauma bonds, things like that, can really tie you up and be very uncomfortable. And I see that you maybe are stuck in a phase of having to look at things from a different perspective, and it's not very comfortable right now, because of whatever this thing that happened did to you or presented to you. And there also might be a person here too that you really loved, that sometimes, the King of Cups is a very loving person, a loving leader and everything. They're usually very, very loyal, but I'm going to get a clarifier on that one. Let's just see. Can you tell me more about the King of Cups for this collective, please? Yeah. Another one, please. Temperance. Yeah, it might be a Sagittarius that you worked with. That's possible. Someone that you might have cared about or cares about you. And it might be that, you know, since we're drawing a lighthouse here, it might be that this person has acted as sort of a beacon for you, as a lighthouse, you know, as a way, as a person to show the way. That doesn't mean that they will be in our life forever, but for a while that's what's been going on, except that this is in what is blocking you. So there might be someone that you really love, or something that you do that you really love, a habit or something like that, that's really just, maybe it's not serving its purpose anymore. Maybe it brought you balance before and you were able to work and do the things you needed to do, but now it's creating some sort of blockage. Can I have more clarification on the Ace of Cups, please? Yeah, Ace of Cups. More self-love is needed. Yeah. Yeah, see, I almost feel like what kind of threw you off too was like there was either one or more people that you had been involved with that was a romantic tie. One more, please. Maybe someone did something that caused you to like really question yourself and maybe damage your self-love. This could go all the way back to your childhood. This is quite possible. It could have been like a narcissistic parent or something that, you know, really worked hard to like try to break you and make you not love yourself and not love the world. That's possible. And that needs to be healed up if that's the case. Self-healing, self-love is the answer. Yeah, it could have been a father figure. We've got the Hierophant here. Yeah, and self-love often goes hand in hand with deep spirituality too, so I highly recommend that. And so these are all blockages, so I feel like you're still sort of in a process. Yeah, you're in a process right now of healing and, you know, figuring out what, you know, is loving towards yourself. You're getting a new perspective and seeing where you need to go next. Let's put this aside. All right, let's look a little bit deeper into this. I'm going to pull 3 cards. Just keep in mind, this is a reading. It's for a collective or an energy, a collective of people who are watching. It's if you're here, there's probably something for you. But if there's something in the read that doesn't sound quite right, don't try to force it to fit, okay? It might be for somebody else. And also these, I will list below all these, the names of these beautiful decks that I'm using so you can get some for yourself, and also, you know, to acknowledge the wonderful creators and artists of these decks. So let's see. Yeah, so what I was asking about when I pulled these 3 cards are like what your talents are, your strengths, like the best thing you can do. And it's saying surrender, shadow work, and ceremony. So we'll start with this one, surrender. Trust your higher self. Your higher self is God. That's the highest source is the higher self for all beings, right? So tapping into your spirituality, I feel right now is really going to be freeing for her. I mean, look how happy she is swinging here, and she's free, and she's swinging from a bird that's flying. And, you know, there's like this sense of, you know, when you feel free and when you're flying, that's like really nurturing for you. But there's a need to let go. It reminds me of the book Illusions, when they're talking about the sea creatures who cling and one lets go and they're finally free, right? So it's about letting go of the matrix, letting go of habits, letting go of the old way of doing things, and trusting that, you know, you have a purpose, trusting that Source hears you, Great Spirit hears you, God hears you, and that you do have a team that's working with you in the spirit, right? Shadow work goes hand in hand with that, which is what this is. It says forgiveness and unconditional love, because remember we had self-love in here below this. Yeah. When you do the shadow work, right, which is, you know, I've done this work, so I know that it's difficult, but it is worth it, because the forgiveness and unconditional love, when you forgive other people, when you forgive yourself, you're doing it for yourself, right? Which is healthy. You need to just let go of things because you want to take your energy off of whatever was causing you harm in the past, maybe where you're stuck. I've met people who were full-grown adults and they're still 4-year-olds. They are still 4-year-olds because that's when they were traumatized as a child, and they have not gotten past whatever that that hiccup was. It's like they couldn't emotionally mature past that level. And so it's caused all kinds of problems for them in adulthood, because a 4-year-old can't make a living, stay balanced as an adult, things like that. So there's something about doing the shadow work and, forgiving those things that happened in the past, handing it over to God and to your angels, to your spirit team, whatever your particular spiritual construct is, handing it over so that it's not a burden for you and you can move forward and be healthy. So there are lots of ways to do shadow work. Like, for instance, I did something called the Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Program, or NARP. That's by Melanie Tanya Evans. And I've recommended that multiple times in readings before, but that's one example of work that you can do where you can go in and you can clear up all of your traumas from childhood or any part of your life and everything, and clear up the pains in your body that are associated with that. And that's so freeing when you can do that. And then you get to a state of self-love. And when you reach that, you just continue to be kind to yourself, love yourself, and avoid, walk away from people who are toxic, who bring out the toxicity in you. And then your life can become quality. It can be something that you're very proud of, and you can feel good about yourself, you can have that surrender. And then this card says ceremony, ritual, celebrate, devotion. Celebrate yourself. Be devoted to yourself. Have your own back. That's so important. And maybe you need to go and do some sort of prayers or rituals or ceremonies, whatever is appropriate for your particular spiritual practices, right? So I want to pull, though, another layer. All right, so now that we're digging into things like shadow work and stuff like that, I kind of want to pull and see what you don't want to see, or what's hidden, what is in your shadow side, since we've got shadow work here. So let's just pull 2 cards for that, please. Okay, so I pulled 2 cards. I covered that one because she's showing a little bit of boobage there. So, YouTube doesn't like that. But so, okay. So what's going on is that what you don't want to see is that whatever habits were going on here, addictions, substances or traumas or things like that, has been causing tangled thoughts for you. So you don't see yet that, remember we had that Ace of spears or swords up there. So you're working through all these tangled thoughts, and that's created some blind spots and everything, but keep working through that. That's very important. And what you don't see is there's abundance on the other side of this work. And the more that you love yourself, the more that you put the work in to clear up your traumas and everything and to get past your addictions, the more abundance can come in now, because the universe is going to reward you for cleaning up your life, for making your life better, for loving yourself more. And I don't think you see that. I think you're still kind of like in a confused state right now. Yeah, so let's just see what's going to come up in your future. I kind of want to see that. We'll look at your, your immediate and long term. Let's see. All right, well, these actually look really, really good for you. Well, let's start with the immediate likely future. Now, this is likely, so we have multiple timelines that we're choosing all the time, so just keep that in mind. But so we got Strike Now, Comfort, and Sister Moon. All of 3 of these are about abundance. So Strike Now is talking about a bold plan, so perhaps you're putting a plan together really soon, following up on things as needed. It says cash in, expand, start. So whatever you've been thinking about doing as a project, it's coming up. There's an opportunity to start it soon, and it's saying strike now. So there's a time-sensitive opportunity. You might be aware of what this is. I feel like you are, and you'll know that soon you're going to be able to move forward on that. And, this is comfort, take refuge in strength. So living well, easy transition, protected, fearless, and stability. So through whatever you're doing, you're going to find stability very soon. If you don't have it right now, it's going to be coming for you. Just keep being fearless, right? You're going to need to do that to just really believe in yourself, right? So Sister Moon says guided to the light. So hidden opportunities, dark places, emerging, and full plate. So it's like you're still pulling out of whatever darkness this is that you've been experiencing. But in the immediate future, it's showing that it's really, you're going to have an opportunity to move forward. There are hidden opportunities, right? But things will be illuminated for you. They're just the things that have not been uncovered yet. Yeah. And in the further out the future, it says hidden courage and committed. Courage and comfort here, because this is talking about being fearless, seem to be in alignment. But a little further out, it says hidden, buried treasure awaits. Dig deeper, show yourself, new info, discover your path. So whatever this thing is that you're about to do now, that you're about to start, or really like focus in on to get it moving and everything, is going to turn into something nice for you. And more information will come in as you keep digging deeper and doing more with it. And it almost, you might become, like have a platform or something. It says show yourself. So in that way, it's like the lighthouse. It's like, there are people who look up to you now, but there will be more people who, whatever this project is, will be looking to you as like a beacon or a lighthouse, a way shower. So you have a purpose, and you might not be aware of that yet, but this is coming up soon. There's a, even if it's just for your children, or just for the people in your vicinity, it might not even be on a platform, but it could be. It could be a bigger platform, and you're going to be helping a lot of people. And in the further out future, it says courage, move past the fear, right mindset, taking steps, stand out, help others, credit. So the same kind of thing. Be a beacon for others. Move boldly through the world, using your talents, and expanding on what you're creating, because this will help other people. And that's that's being of service is super high quality. That's an excellent way to live. And it says committed, creating from the heart. So you're creating something, you'll be creating something that really means something to you. And see how this is also like in her heart area. To me, that ties in the same way. So it says all in a long-term career, life's work, legacy, and investment. So yeah, so this is for more of the long-term future. So this is good. So whatever you're building now is going to turn into something really nice for the future. This is excellent. Good for you. Let's see what the next layer. Let's see what the advice is and the best thing for you to do. We'll pull 3 cards for this. Well, these are nice. So I was asking about what the advice is from Spirit, and the best thing for you to do. So we'll just go left to right. So anchor says, anchor yourself in strength and resilience, finding stability amidst life's ever-changing tides. So, that is life. Life is constantly moving. It's like the flow. I always see life as sort of like the flow of a river, right? And the flow is Great Spirit. It is God. And you can go with the flow and then co-create within that, flow that you're doing, or you can go against the tide and you'll find that it's not going to work out for you so much, or you can cling to the bottom, right, of the river and not go anywhere and live in fear. But if you let go and just go with the flow, then you'll find that you get the rewards in life much better. Although this one says anchor yourself in strength. So not, instead of anchoring yourself into the bottom of the river, anchor into your own personal strength. And we were talking about strength here and here, right? Strength, resilience, finding stability amidst life's ever-changing tides. So being adaptable, right? And flowing, consciously staying in the flow is really going to make a difference for you. I know, because I do this all the time. And this one says, whales, tap into your inner wisdom and navigate life's depths with grace and majesty. Those are very similar things. You can move through life gracefully, with majesty, with, believing in yourself and loving yourself and respecting yourself. And then we have seaweed, find beauty and vulnerability and let your resilience shine through life's challenges. When you have confidence inside of yourself and you are that beacon, that lighthouse for everyone else, you can appreciate more the vulnerability in yourself and in others. You don't see it as a weakness anymore. You see that, oh, what a beautiful thing, that beautiful, delicate flower. I love that. I'm going to look at that and appreciate it for what it is, right? I don't need to crush it. I don't need to do anything to it. I can just appreciate it for what it is and how delicate it is. When we treat ourselves more kindly, we treat the world more kindly. It's a direct reflection. So again, we have resilience. All these three of these cards are about resilience. Actually, the word resilience is in both of these here. So, all right, let's see what your ancestors want to say to you. You know, and the thing I wanted to say about lighthouses is that, you know, not all lighthouses are the same. The way I'm drawing it, it's more of a cylindrical, but some lighthouses are rectangular. There are different types of shapes and everything, and they also have different like light colors that come out of them, different sounds, you know, to communicate with those that they are helping. And so there's not just one way you need to do things. Just be flexible and go with the flow of life, and you know, dig into your spirituality and believe in yourself, and you'll find your way, and you'll find your own particular way of doing things. And everybody should have their own style. You don't need to copy anybody else. You can just, you know, do things your own way, and your ancestors are by your side. So here's what the ancestors say. They're talking about drama, martyr, and perfection. Well, as I look at this, it's almost like your ancestors saying like to watch out for these certain things, like be careful of drama queens. You know, people who want to splatter or project all of their stuff onto everybody else. Drama queens or drama people who start drama and stuff. They're kind of people who like to feed off of other people, right? So watch out for stuff like that, or anybody who makes you feel like this woman looks right here. So kind of off kilter and throwing you off and everything like that. Just watch out for that type of thing. I personally avoid drama queens because they always cause problems. So, you know, it's just anything that's it's throwing you off. Just be careful. You know, you've got to have that 8 of Cups over here and everything. Kind of walk away from that type of nonsense. Nobody needs that. So you know, just know that you can be sure-footed. You just need to, like, you know, be adaptable and avoid the drama, right? And you don't have to be a martyr. You know, you don't have to like give up your own happiness for other people. Being a beacon or being a lighthouse for others doesn't mean you have to give up your happiness. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to give up what is good in your life just to make everybody else happy. Just it's something you might want to look at, because I feel like your ancestors are sort of saying, don't be a martyr. There's no reason for that. You don't need to do that. You know, you don't have to follow that path if you're feeling like this is what's going on for you. You know, and also I feel like your ancestors saying you don't have to be perfect. This card's about perfection. And there are some things that it's really nice to take it all the way and to perfect it. That's right. But having to be a perfectionist in every part of your life will just be you being hard on yourself. So watch that inner critic and everything. Be careful about how you're speaking to yourself. That makes a huge difference. If you're criticizing yourself, that might be the voice of whatever parent you had that was berating you. You know, especially if you had like a narcissistic parent, just watch to make sure that voice is not echoing through your head, because you don't need to speak to yourself in any kind of like critical negative way necessarily. So, yeah, I almost feel like, yeah, like this, like I said, these 3 cards right here are almost like your ancestors saying, don't do this. You don't need to play these roles. That's okay. So I'm going to pull one final card just to see if there's any advice or anything you need to know, and then we'll wrap up this reading and you can see the final completed drawing. So. Okay, well, this card says all. You can have it all, just not all at once. Yeah. So just that's again like just enjoying the beautiful simple things, the vulnerable things in life. Enjoy your moments. Be able to be really present in the moment. A lot of times those who are addicted to things are avoiding the moment. They're avoiding really dealing with what's going on inside of them right now. That's not always the case, but I think that that's often the case. It's just the not wanting to confront or deal with the now. So it's just saying you can have it all, just not all at once. Just enjoy these moments right now. You know, and she's here just walking along on her tree or whatever that is, and enjoying the moments. She's enjoying her day. So just try to do that in life. Just enjoy every moment. Understand that it's a journey, and that there is no perfection, and you don't need to cover up your feelings, and just enjoy life as much as you possibly can, because it totally is worth it. And you'll figure out what your missions are too if you don't already know. Anyway, so Thank you for being here. As always, I appreciate those who view my videos, and then also like and comment and share whatever you would like to do. That's all appreciated as an energy exchange, and I hope that this helped you in some way, and in a way guided you like a lighthouse to where you need to go next. So until I see you next time, thanks again. Bye-bye.